Hello, hello, hello. We are back again. Last week was tough. We have to admit it. It was really tough because we had hope that Senator Manchin really will come along and align himself with his own party. But my friend, again, those Democrats will never cease to amaze me. And sometimes I wonder really why do we vote for those people? Anyway, today's video we'll be talking about inadmissibility issues, and we can offer possible solutions to certain individuals. Please stay tuned. If you are new to me, my name is Bijoux.ngwanda. I'm an immigration lawyer here in DC. I am born in Kentucky and, of course, in the District of Columbia. I represent people around the country, across the country, including the District of Columbia. And I do have clients around the world because we deal with US immigration and how to actually stay here, come here, or do business in the US. So let's get right into it. 8 things that can actually prevent somebody from adjusting status. Let me share the screen with you. We're going to go over it quickly. And if you need a consultation with me, please do not hesitate to call my office. The number is 202-751-2180. Email on display. Consultation fees apply as usual. And if you do not intend to pay the fees for the consultation, I charge $175. My friend, just leave a comment below, okay? We'll get to them when we get to them. But if you call the office, just know that you are subject to a consultation fee applied, okay? So let's get right into it. Let me share the screen with you so we can talk about 8 things, right, that can prevent somebody from adjusting status, okay? What is inadmissibility? Really, individuals who are inadmissible are not permitted by law to enter or remain in the United States. So basically, if you're inadmissible, you cannot enter or you cannot remain in the United States. Well, in this video, we will talk about 8 things that can prevent somebody from adjusting status. Remember, at the time you are adjusting status, basically by the time you are applying for the Form I-485 to get a green card, well, that's when you have to ask yourself those 8 questions, right? Am I admissible? So the first thing that can prevent somebody from adjusting status is inadmissibility due to health. Secondly, inadmissibility due to criminal reasons, inadmissibility due to national security reasons, inadmissibility due to likelihood of becoming a public charge, inadmissibility due to lack of labor certification, inadmissibility due to fraud or misrepresentation, inadmissibility due to prior removals, and unlawful presence. And then we have miscellaneous grounds of inadmissibility. We'll go over it, right? We're going to explain some of them, not too much in details, but at least you get a sense of where, if you stand currently on those inadmissibility issues, then you will know exactly what to do, right? When it comes to inadmissibility due to health concern, a range of situation, okay? So if you're inadmissible due to health, pretty much maybe you have a communicable disease. Let's say you have those are the type of diseases that are transmittable, right? They have those one. Some of them so infectious I can't even pronounce it. If you have those type of diseases, unfortunately, you will find yourself inadmissible. And then those who fail to receive vaccination, remember now that we have COVID-19 vaccine, the law says that you must get vaccinated, right? And there's a certain date, I forgot, but I remember it could be October of last year that you have to really be vaccinated from COVID in order for you to be able to adjust status, okay? And then we have those who have physical or mental disorder, right? Their behavior is so harmful they cannot adjust status. Then we have those who are drug abuser or addict, any type of addiction. So I believe that has to do with those mental disorder related addiction of drugs. Then the person is not going to be admissible. Basically, they cannot adjust status. If they're in the US, if they're outside, they cannot enter, right? So then we have two, inadmissibility due to criminal reasons. What are those criminal reasons? We have crimes involving moral turpitude, violation of any controlled substance law, multiple crime conviction, drug trafficking, prostitution, commercialized vice, commission of serious crime in the United States where a person has asserted immunity from persecution, violation of religious freedom, human trafficking, money laundering, while you cannot be admissible based on that. Then we have inadmissibility due to national reasons, okay? So if you're a threat to national security, like terrorists, a member of totalitarian party, member of Nazi persecution or genocide, you've been part of those things, you cannot be admissible. Then we have number 4, inadmissibility due to likelihood of becoming a public charge. Let me stop a little bit right here. This one was big under Trump. Remember when under Trump, public charge was the main thing, and a lot of people saw themselves being denied their benefit of getting a green card because of public charge. Public charge simply means that the person is likely to become or rely basically on government. The person is likely to rely more on government, then the person will become a public charge. So they're getting like Medicaid, food stamps, all those public housing, those public benefit. So it's not as heavy as it was under Trump, but this is something to look after if you really try to apply. If you can avoid those public benefit, well, it will be nice to avoid it, okay? And then inadmissibility due to lack of labor certification, right? Employment of the person will not adversely affect the wage of working, and there are not enough US qualified and the same work. So if you this is for work related type of employment, right? If you don't have the labor certification, well, you cannot be admissible based on work, right? But there is an exception to it unless the DHS has already found that. Remember when we talked about it, a designated Schedule A type of work, therapists, nurses, and people with exceptional ability. Those are the people that have already been designated. So the labor certification, you don't have to have it like approved by the Department of Labor, because it's already pre-approved, because they've already determined that those people are crucial to this economy. Okay, so if you among those type of people, you don't have to be concerned about it. Then we have inadmissibility due to fraud or misrepresentation, but the misrepresentation has to be so material, especially let's say if somebody is into a fraudulent marriage, those that they call sham marriage. Well, the person, if they find it, then the person will be inadmissible. And remember, that's really almost unwaivable, right? When it comes to fraudulent marriage, unwaivable. Frivolous asylum case, unwaivable. So those are the things to look really. Then we have inadmissibility due to prior removals, unlawful presence. We have talked about unlawful presence too many times. Then we have miscellaneous ground of inadmissibility. Okay, the following are the ground: person who entered the country illegally, entry without inspection, okay, or being admitted or parole. So a couple exceptions when it comes to this one. Entry without permission. We have the grandfather clause that says that if your petition was approved around 2001, April 30th of 2001. Then, of course, you meet that exception, right? Even if you enter without inspection, or in the case of U visa, and they find out that the interest that you have in that visa outweigh the interest of this government. So basically, it's in the best interest of the government to waive that inadmissibility issue so that you can collaborate with the person who actually incited crime so they can get information. Then they can waive it. You people have a better chance when it comes to entry without permission. Okay. Or VAWA petitioners as well. If you enter without permission and you happen to be abused, then you're a VAWA petitioner, then you can be forgiven when it comes to entry without inspection. Okay. And then we have person who failed to attend immigration or removal hearing without cause. You failed to attend immigration or removal proceedings without cause, then you find yourself inadmissible. And this one I have to reiterate on it. If you found yourself failing to attend removal hearings, and then 5 years later, well, that can be forgiven if you apply for a waiver 5 years later. Then we have smuggler, student visa abuser. They have a 5 years ban. For former U.S. citizen who renounced citizenship to avoid taxation, practicing polygamist, unlawful voters, international child. This one too, right? Unlawful voters. Remember, unlawful voting. So if somebody's voting in violation of any federal or state or local constitution provision, those persons will become deportable, so meaning inadmissible. And there is this law in New York that they're trying to make people vote even though you do not have documentation. And that's something to really avoid, because this is going to haunt some people in the future, unlawful voting. So I don't think it's that's something to really to avoid, unfortunately. International charge, and then waivers, right? I'm gonna stop right here, go back to my screen. So then we comes to waivers. If you find yourself inadmissible based on those 8 grounds, there are a lot of grounds of inadmissibility that we did not talk about. But the one that we have talked about, if you find yourself inadmissible, the next question is to find out whether a waiver is applicable on your case. Really, that's the only thing you can find out. If you find out, well, I'm inadmissible based on this. So is a waiver, first of all, available? And if a waiver is available, can I apply for it? Okay, that's where you have to ask yourself the questions. We've talked about waiver before too many times, but if you find yourself inadmissible for any particular reason that we have cited, please do not hesitate to call my office, 202-751-2180. Email on display. Consultation fees apply as usual. But then we're going to find out whether a waiver will help you, right? And remember, waivers are a discretionary measure. We cannot guarantee a success on it, but we can just tell you that if it's available and if you can try, and really hope that you get a favorable discretion on your behalf. Okay, so then we come back to our BBB is dead. My friend, somebody was calling me to ask me about BBB and whether they're going to vote for it in February. My friend, I do not know. What I know is that Senator Manchin has refused to align himself with his own party, and he has defeated the entire purpose of the Biden administration economic plan. So we know the BBB is dead. So what can we do next year, the year ahead? That's what we have to be thinking about, because this year is over, right? Today, December 22nd. This year is over when it comes to voting for anything, especially when it comes to voting for any immigration reform. What are we going to be looking at next year? Possibly they are going to revisit that BBB, and try to revive it, like resurrect it again, or they're going to come together with the Republican to come up with a bipartisan plan. When does it going to happen? My friend, I do not know. Are they going to wait until the budget of next year, until October, to come up with that? We do not know. But after this recess and earlier next year, that's where we will have a hint of what direction the Democrats are going to be taking, because right now everybody is now concerned about their own seat, okay, in the Senate, right? Election is coming. They want to vote on the election portion of the bills. Really, they want to really challenge this GOP filibuster. So we don't know what they're going to focus on, but we know now they're really focusing on elections laws. So because they were concerned about next year, right? So in the meantime, really, are you going to wait on them to do something? I mean, unless there's nothing you can do, right? Then we only wait for them to do something. But if there's something that you need to be doing about your case, and you need the case assessment, whether to reopen a case, whether to just assess and know if there is any possibility, or to retry. My friend, some people have retried those cases. The first try, they didn't get the waiver, and then the second try, they got it. And if you're willing to retry, I believe it's the best option. The environment is still good when it comes to immigration, because we don't know in 2024 what's going to happen with those. It's friendly, let's just say that. The environment's friendly. So that was it for today, right? If you have questions, please call my office for consultation. If you're not willing to pay, then comment below. We'll get to them when we get to them, okay? This is Bijoux.ngwanda, immigration lawyer. You know that here in DC metropolitan area. This was U.S. Immigration. Until next time, bye-bye.